Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Qurash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth throughout the four ends of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwaf who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. And this is, they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. The Lord's witness be edifying. And this is a guy named Hedges. And what he is talking about in this video is the downfall of Babylon the Great. And the title of the lesson is, the title of the video, America Empire has collapsed. Okay? So, I'm going to get this precept, then they're going to let this video ride. This is this is Psalms 64 in verse 8. It reads, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Okay? And you got Edomites trying to get away from Edomites, man. Okay? They trying to separate themselves, man. Because the Lord say what? That a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand, right? But we know this is the fall of Babylon the Great, man. Okay? So Lord's witness be edifying.
The final stages of capitalism, Karl Marx predicted, would be marked by global capital being unable to expand and generate profits at former levels. Capitalists would begin to consume the government, along with the physical and social structures that sustain them. Democracy, social welfare, electoral participation, the common good, investment in public transportation, roads, bridges, utilities, industry, education, healthcare, and the protection of the ecosystem would be sacrificed to feed the mania for short-term profit. These assaults would destroy the host. And this is the stage of late capitalism that Donald Trump represents. Trump and his reactionary capitalists who have seized 34 of 50 governorships and 68 of 99 state legislatures, 49 of which are bicameral, plan to oversee the final campaign of corporate pillaging of America and the rest of the planet. It will be crass and brazen, as the fleecing of the desperate people hoping for a miracle in the face of dead-end jobs and ruinous personal debt who patronized Trump's casinos and the casinos springing up across the United States and Canada, or who shelled out thousands of dollars for the sham of Trump University. He is unleashing a kleptocracy. The word comes from the Greek, klepto meaning thieves, and kratos meaning rule, so it is literally rule by thieves.
And that's spiritual, man. Okay? Because when you go to St. John 10:10, it reads this, man. St. John 10:10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy, man. Okay? And that's spiritual. Chris Hedges saying that, man.
One that will rival the kleptocracies carried out by Suharto in Indonesia and Marcos in the Philippines. It is not that Trump and his family will use the influence of government to increase their wealth, although this will certainly take place on a massive scale. It is that hundreds of billions of federal dollars will be diverted into the hands of cronies, sleazy bankers, unethical financial firms, and scabrous hedge fund managers. Everything will, to use a business term, be harvested. The decaying pillars of the liberal state in America will be obliterated. At the same time, the militarization of America is being accelerated. The defense budget will be increased by 10% or $54 billion, although the United States already spends more than the defense budgets of the next 7 countries combined.
Facts.
The paramilitary forces of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which will soon hire 10,000 more agents, and the Border Patrol, which will hire 5,000 more agents, along with Homeland Security, have all deputized local and state police to function as their auxiliaries. They will be flooded with cast-off military-issue equipment. These paramilitary forces will not disband once they have finished terrorizing and deporting some of the 11 million undocumented workers in the United States. They will turn on their next victims, Muslims, African Americans, Asians, dissidents. This militarization of society is designed to carry out the race war that Trump and those around him see as inevitable at home and abroad.
And that's 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their hand. And this was coming, man. Okay? Race riots, uproars of the people, martial law. Okay? All these things is coming, man. Listen.
In poor communities of color, this race war has already begun.
Yes, it has.
Racial profiling.
Right.
Random police stops.
Facts.
Raids at homes and businesses. People of color pulled from vehicles at checkpoints.
Facts.
Seizures of individuals with no criminal records or who never committed a serious crime. Imprisonment without trial. Expedited deportation hearings and removal proceedings that violate the most basic human rights.
And they passing laws that they don't got to take you to court, see a judge, none of that, man. Okay? I forgot what it's called, but this is what they doing, man. Okay, in the time of martial law and concentration camps, man, it ain't gonna be no, you ain't gonna go to court and see no judge, none of that, man. Okay?
The arrest of a beneficiary of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA program, Daniel Ramirez, Medina, 23, who along with the program's other 750,000 successful applicants had revealed all personal history to the government in applying for DACA status. Parents separated, perhaps forever, from their children. The hunted going underground. The end of the rule of law. The abandonment of the common good. The obliteration of a social state in which institutions and assistance programs, from public education to social security and welfare, make justice, equality, and dignity possible. White Europeans who are undocumented are not being targeted. The executive orders of Trump are directed against people of color. They begin from the premise that white Americans are the true victims of neoliberalism, deindustrialization, and falling living standards. The Trump orders are written not to make America great again, but to make America white. They are an updated version of the Nazis' Nuremberg laws, the Jim Crow laws, the Chinese Exclusion Act, and the Naturalization Act of 1870.
Wow.
They are intended to institutionalize an overt racial hierarchy in the United States, one already far advanced in the miniature police states where people of color live in marginal communities.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Police state, right? You ain't gonna have no court, none of that, man. Okay, they just can lock you up, man. Hey, Chris Hedges is giving you straight facts, man. All these things is in the scriptures, man. And we've been trying to tell you, Jakes, over and over, this is coming, man. Okay, and it's round the corner. It's round the corner, man. We've been trying to tell you, man. That police state, man. Martial law.
In these impoverished enclaves, there is no right to trial or due process.
Right, there it is.
Militarized police kill with impunity, and the courts lock people away, often for life.
Right. The
Rights
police state.
are treated as privileges that can instantly be revoked.
That's why I say, that's why what I just read says it's going to be sedition among men, man. Okay? Because you're going to have all nations going to be out here going to war, man. Okay? They don't regard none of the law, man. It's going to be lawlessness out here, man. Okay? And what this man telling you right now, man, these things are happening right now around the world. The only place this is not happening is here in North America, Babylon the Great, man. But guess what? When it hit the shores of North America, Babylon the Great, hey, you 2/3 gonna be in trouble, man. Okay, because you don't want to seek the Lord. You don't want to seek Yahweh Bashim Shah right now, man. Okay, and you're gonna be destroyed, man. You're gonna be destroyed. And hey, we like a broken record, man. Okay? Because the Lord say, warn my people over and over and over, man.
Poor, especially poor people of color, are exempted from moral consideration.
That's you 2/3, man. You gonna be in trouble out here, man.
They are attacked as impediments to social cohesion. And these impediments must be eliminated. Jews, their community centers enduring threats of violence, and their graveyards desecrated, will also be persecuted. American fascism is rapidly being cemented into place by uniformed and heavily armed paramilitary goons, touching the flag and the cross and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer. Little or no prospect of rescue from individual indolence or impotence can be expected to arrive from a political state that is not and refuses to be a social state. The sociologist Zygmunt Bauman wrote, "Without social rights for all, a large and all probability growing number of people will find their political rights of little use and unworthy of their attention. If political rights are necessary to set social rights in place, social rights are indispensable to make political rights real and keep them in operation. The two rights need each other for their survival. That survival can only be their joint achievement." Presidential chief strategist Stephen Bannon, in his public comments and his films, such as Generation Zero, has embraced a historical determinism worthy of Karl Marx. He posits that Western culture has been contaminated and is being destroyed by darker races and barbaric religions and belief systems.
You hear that? And it has been destroyed, man. Okay? By the wicked, by the ones that's ruling in wickedness, man. Okay? Deforestation, GMO foods, contaminated waters. Okay? You got the LGBTQP running rampant out here, man. Okay? Adulterers, murderers. Hey, anything goes here in Babylon the Great, man. Anything goes here, man. That's what the Lord say. The sins of this place have reached to the heavens, man. Okay? And over there in Israel, in the land, man. Okay? The sins of this place have reached into the heavens, man. And the Lord sending his son Yahushua back with great vengeance, man. That's why Yahushua say the day burneth in his heart to return back, man. Yahweh too.
His conspiratorial view of history and society sees a global war between the white race and the lesser breeds of the earth as not only inevitable.
Oh, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And what I just read, man, 2nd Ezra, read again, 2nd Ezra 15 and 14, man. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Guns, man, okay? All type of weapons. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. Okay? And the course of their action shall stand in their power, man. It say a man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able to, because it's going to be martial law. And they're going to have the cities blocked off. Just like in the movie What Happened to Monday. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy his house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay? These things is coming, man. And Chris Hedges is telling you right now, man.
But one that will reinvigorate and purify America. This idea of regeneration through violence, which has always been part of the American myth, is also a central tenet of fascism. Racists and conspiracy theorists such as Bannon, Michael Anton, Stephen Miller, Sebastian Gorka constitute Trump's ideological brain trust. Gorka goes so far as to argue that the failure to understand the evil of radical Islam stems from a systematic subversion of the national security establishment under the banner of inclusivity, cultural awareness, and political correctness.
They should think to change times and laws, man.
In a 2014 speech, Bannon said, "I believe we've come partly off track in the years since the fall of the Soviet Union, and we're starting now in the 21st century, which I believe strongly is a crisis both of our church, a crisis of our faith, a crisis of the West, a crisis of capitalism. There is a major war brewing that's already global." Bannon said it's going global in scale.
Yeah, that's when you go to Revelation, let me read that real quick. Revelation chapter 9. Revelation 9 and 12. And it reads, "One woe is past, and behold, there come two more woes hereafter." Okay? That was World War I past, right? So then you got Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. And it reads, "The second war is past." That was the two world wars, World War I and II. "The second war is past, and behold, the third war coming quickly," man. Okay? World War III is coming, man. It's brewing up heaven, man. Okay? Hey, you don't see what's going on, man? With Syria and crude and Turkey? Okay? And Russia and China getting together? Hey, they finna wipe North America off the map, man.
And today's technology, today's media, today's access to weapons of mass destruction, it's going to lead to a global conflict, and I believe has to be confronted today.
Hey, Isaiah 54 and 16. "I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, man. That created instrument for his works, and I created the waster to destroy." Intercontinental ballistic missiles, man.
Every day that we refuse to look at this as what it is and the scale of it and really the viciousness of it will be a day where you will rue that we didn't act. Bannon is a proponent of the theory popularized by authors William Strauss and Neil Howe in their books Generations, The History of America's Future, 1584 to 2069, and The Fourth Turning, an American prophecy, what the cycles of history tell us about America's next rendezvous with destiny.
World War III, man.
These authors argue that roughly every 80 years, or an average human lifespan, the country goes through a cataclysmic crisis. This crisis triggers war, industrial slaughter, and genocide, and lasts for a decade or more. In its aftermath, they argue the social order is rejuvenated. Strauss and Howe highlight the American Revolution of 1775 to 1783, the Civil War, the Great Depression, and World War II as examples of how the cycle works. Pseudo-intellectuals such as Strauss and Howe play the role that Paul de Lagarde, Julius Langbaum, Arthur Muller, von den Broek, and Alfred Rosenberg played for the Nazi Party. They give an intellectual veneer to racist conspiracy theories, a perverted nationalism, a hatred for culture, and the lust for domination through violence. I share Bannon's distaste for corporate globalization, free trade agreements, the failure to put Wall Street bankers in jail, the bank bailouts and crony capitalism, and would even concede that Americans wallow in the moral swamp of a culture of narcissism. He is right when he attacks the two major political parties as the one party of Davos. But his solution to the purported crisis, total war by the white race to regain its ascendancy, is insane.
Wow. Hey, Job 9:24. The earth was given to the hand of the wicked, man. Okay, Revelation 11:18. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah said they would destroy him who's destroying the earth, man. Okay?
As are the causes he cites. A New Deal that turned citizens into whining dependents, the permissiveness of the 1960s, white guilt that made the country cater, in his words, irresponsibly to African Americans by giving them social service programs and undeserved mortgages that led to the 2008 financial meltdown.
Wow. Really? Hey, and that's this video I did a while ago. It is billions stolen, man. Billions stolen from black families by predatory lending, man. Okay? Billions stolen from black families by predatory lending, man. And now they talking about it's you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans' fault. The reason it was a collapse in 2008. Hey, see, man, this is the words of the wicked, man.
Intellectual and liberal class composed essentially of traitors who hate America and, quote unquote, the new barbarity of jihadist Islamic fascism. Racism, misogyny, the inherent cruelty of capitalism and the crimes of empire, from Wounded Knee to Vietnam and Iraq, simply do not exist in Bannon's mystical nationalist worldview.
Wow.
He insists that the white, male, aristocratic elites who formed a republic that enslaved African Americans, exterminated Native Americans, denied the vote to women and white men without property, created, quote, a church and a civilization that really is the flower of mankind.
Hey, boy, he coming out with it.
And this is the myth he wants to recover.
He coming out with it, man.
Now, it may be that the deep state, the shadowy world of the security and surveillance bureaucracy, the arms industry, Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and corporations that actually rule the country, disturbed by Trump's impulsivity, irrationality, and incompetence, will move to replace him. This was certainly the idea when the organs of internal security used a wiretap to discredit and remove Michael Flynn, and it is what is happening now with the leaks about the Attorney General's 2 meetings with the Russian ambassador. But the ascendancy to the White House of Michael Pence, a more polished and disciplined politician who will advance the agenda of the Christian right, will not make things better, and indeed, they may make things worse. Those being placed now into power are agents of destruction. Betsy DeVos is moving to defund our system of public education and use government vouchers to expand corporate charter school chains and those run by the Christian right. Scott Pruitt is dismantling the Environmental Protection Agency. He has already called for a 25% reduction in the EPA's budget, the elimination of 3,000 jobs, and the slashing of numerous programs, including a 70% cut to its climate protection program that oversees cutting emissions of greenhouse gases. Bannon was the dark hand behind the ban on Muslims entering the United States from 7 Muslim-majority countries, a ban you can expect to see extended if the Trump administration is successful in removing a stay issued by a district court or issuing a new executive order. Bannon was behind the order to the Department of Homeland Security to draw up lists of Muslim organizations and individuals in the United States that, in the language of that executive order, have quote-unquote been radicalized and provided material support to terrorism-related organizations in countries that pose a threat to the United States.
And that's also going into the argument on the highways and byways, pushing the truth, man. Okay, because they trying to find a way to get the brothers off the corners, man. They trying to find a way to get the brothers off the streets. Okay, but they don't even know, man. It's gonna be the will of the Lord to remove his prophets, man. Okay, but you just heard it. They got in the works, man. Okay, they trying to incorporate the brothers into this whole terrorist and all this whole movement about terrorists, man. Okay, terrorism. Okay, that's what they trying to do, man. They trying to ban the Bible and they trying to get the brothers off the highways and byways, man.
Such lists will be used to criminalize Muslim leaders and the institutions and organizations they built. Then, once Muslims are dealt with, there will be new Homeland Security lists that will allow the government to target the press, activists, labor leaders, dissident intellectuals, and the left.
See? That's what they talking about right there, man. That's talking about they finna come at the brothers that's pushing this truth in the highways and byways, man. Okay, that's what they finna do, man. Come at all the argument that's pushing this truth, man. Okay, but the Lord setting this all up, man. Because Amos 8 and 11, family of the word is playing out. And it's getting close to it, man. Because the RFID microchip is getting pushed heavy, man. Okay? So, hey, we at that time, man. The elect gotta be close to being sealed, man. Like the apostle always say, man.
Wanted to destroy the state, and that's my goal too, Bannon told the writer Ronald Radash in 2013. I want to bring everything crashing down and destroy all of today's establishment.
Wow.
This culture of destruction was launched 4 decades ago by corporate forces. The corporate elites, terrified by the mobilization of the left in the 1960s, by what the political scientist Samuel Huntington called America's excess of democracy, built and funded counter-institutions to delegitimize and marginalize critics of corporate capitalism and imperialism. They bought the allegiances of the 2 main political parties. They imposed obedience to the neoliberal ideology within academia and the press. This campaign laid out by Lewis Powell in his 1971 memorandum titled Attack on American Free Enterprise System, was the blueprint for the creeping corporate coup d'etat that 45 years later is largely complete. The dismantling of democratic institutions, places where the citizen has agency and a voice, is far greater than the ascendancy to the White House of the demagogue Trump. The coup destroyed our two-party system. Labor unions are a spent force. The press is corporatized. Universities have been purged of dissidents and independent scholars who criticize neoliberalism and decry the decay of democratic institutions. Public broadcasting and the arts, places where voices not beholden to corporate power should find a sanctuary, have been defunded and forced to beg for corporate money, which of course comes with corporate censorship. And it is expected that what little money the government gives to public broadcasting and organizations such as the National Endowment for the Arts will soon be eliminated under Trump. The courts have been stacked with judges whose legal careers were spent serving corporate power, a trend in appointments that continued under Barack Obama. Money has replaced the vote, which is how someone as unqualified as DeVos can buy herself a cabinet seat. And the Democratic Party, rather than sever its ties to Wall Street and corporations, is naively waiting in the wings to profit from a Trump debacle. This coup destroyed more than our democratic institutions. It destroyed the very credibility of liberal democracy. Self-identified liberals such as the Clintons and Obama mouthed the words of liberal democratic values while making war on those values in the service of corporate power. And the revolt we see rippling across the United States and much of the globe is a revolt not only against a corporate system that has betrayed workers, but also, for many, the ideas and values espoused by a bankrupt liberal class. This is very dangerous. The discrediting of liberal democracy will allow the radical right to cement into place in America and much of Europe and other parts of the globe a form of fascism. Presidential advisor Stephen Miller, an ardent white supremacist, in an interview on Face the Nation on CBS, was quite blunt about what to expect. We have a judiciary that has taken far too much power and become in many cases a supreme branch of government, he said. Our opponents, the media, and the whole world will soon see, as we begin to take further actions, that the powers of the president to protect our country are very substantial and will not be questioned. History may not repeat itself, but it echoes.
Oh, the Lord say that which was shall be again, and he required that which is past, and there's nothing new under the sun. Matter of fact, let me read that, and then I'm going to close on this. I just want to show you how Esau Edom is pissed off, man. Okay, these Edomites is separated, man. Okay, they warring against each other, man. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that has been is that which shall be done, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us. Okay? Hey, man, there's nothing new, man. Okay? Nothing new, man. And these things is finna take flight, man. And what you see right here is Chris Hedges bringing you facts straight out, man. Okay? Because Psalm 64:8, man, they should make their own tongue fall upon themselves, man. Because Babylon, and you know somebody, you know something, let me tell you something. They have always been separated, man. Okay? They have always been separated, man. They've been warring with each other since the First World War, man. Okay? They have been warring with each other since the First World War, man. This is their ways, man. Okay? A kingdom divided shall not stand, man. And if Satan divided against Satan, that house shall not stand, man. Okay, that's the words of Yahweh Shai, man. And so with that, we give our praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the ark and pushing this truth to the four ends of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwaf who are listening and learning. Hey, Babylon the Great is collapsing, man. Okay? Shalom.